Science is an exact, anatomy is probably an exact science. So what you have here is this. If you look at those charts that I have given you, let me try to zoom out or zoom in, whatever one makes it better. Okay, well, sometimes when you graph things, they don't work out into nice, neat little lines. They actually end up being dots. Okay, for example, did I not give you one? It's on my desk there. For example, let's say, look at this graph right here. We'll come back to the top up there. Okay, this is, it says sign legibility, which means how well you can read a sign from whatever, 300 feet, 400 feet, 500 feet, and they're basing that, they're comparing that to how old you are. So if you look at this graph, okay, a 15-year-old person can read whatever this sign they're comparing it at 500 feet. 500 feet is about how far? That's a long way, right? 500 feet is longer, like 2 football fields away. Okay. And then a 25-year-old, you know, they measured a bunch of different people. Some could read it here, some could read it there, some could read it up there. I mean, not everybody, based on your age, is going to get the exact same thing, right? Same thing when you got all the way, when you get to a 75-year-old, this poor guy couldn't read it. I mean, you couldn't read the sign when he was only about 100 or whatever it was feet away. So the deal is this, okay, when you plot these points, you know, you don't get a nice straight line like we were talking about, but you can find what they call a correlation. In other words, if you look at the grouping of the dots, you can see and make a generalization that as people get older, their eyesight does get worse. Okay? As they get older, their eyesight gets worse. So that is where the top thing comes up here. Okay? If from left to right, when you do a scatter plot about something, it ends up going downhill, that pattern that you see, you know, it does one of these things here. It's called a negative correlation. It just simply means that as one thing gets bigger, the other one gets smaller. Okay, if you look at that next little thing there, what are we comparing on this next one? Temperature, what does it even say?
I don't know. Temperature.
Money. Probably how much it costs.
Maybe it's how much it costs to air condition your house or a building or something like that. If it's 12 degrees Celsius, it only costs you $200. As it gets hotter, 24 degrees Celsius, it costs you 600 degrees. If you look at the trend, I mean, it doesn't give you a perfect line, but you do see that it goes uphill from left to right. And if that's the case, then we have this other one over here, which is a positive correlation. Really, it's based on its slope. This is a positive slope, so it's a positive correlation. This is a negative slope, it's a negative correlation. And then the last one there, you only have 3 choices there. Oh wait, this was not. Is it over here somewhere? Is there another one here? I guess not. Because if you look at this one, this obviously has this. Is that negative correlation?
Yeah.
But the third one up here, I guess I didn't put an example there when I made this here. If you look at a dots like this and you can't see, I mean, it could be doing all sorts of things here. If you can't see a relationship that either goes up or goes down, it's called zero correlation.
What about,
You don't have any other choices. So I guess you could have a flat one, but I don't think
no,
that's
what if
going to
it's the
happen.
one like right there?
What?
The second
This one?
and third one? No.
This one?
Yeah, the second and third ones on the bottom. Like the second and third line of dots. No.
On this one? Yeah, but you can't. You have to. Grayson makes a point, but if you look at, I mean, you could look at these and go, well, that's up. No, you can't do that. You have to look at it as a total picture. Okay, you have to step back and say, like this one. I mean, no matter what, I mean, you can see this is definitely a pattern of something going down, as in this one. Definitely a pattern going up. This one over here, you cannot really establish a pattern. Yeah, you could take the middle dots and say, oh, look, if you look at just those dots, it goes up, but you can't do that, because then you have to look at just these dots and it goes down. You can't just pull specific dots out. You have to look at it as a global thing there, and that's a negative correlation. Do they talk about, see, I don't think they talk about what I had on the thing there. Oh, yeah, they do, but I won't think we do that. Just to give you a little bit of help, yes, James?
Oh, what about if it's just a straight line?
I don't think it will be, because then if you had a straight line, then it would actually be a straight line.
No. That's-
Okay, I mean, if it was a straight line, so either you're gonna get, it's either probably gonna trend up or trend down and not be a straight line, but I guess then it would be no slope at all, or zero slope, whatever it is. Anyways, to get you a little bit of flavor on this, not to overwhelm you or tax you, if you go to Classroom, there are 2 scatter plot, very easy, mind you, I'm pretty sure very easy sites. You have to get a 100 on both of them as your Smartage score. Once you get to that, you can move on to the next thing. I think I have a quiz though before you do that. And I think it's a quiz probably. If I can find it here. Why can't I get there? Where'd it go? I gotta go to this whole thing again. 7th grade, where you at? I'm getting there. Today is Math Excel. Let me get you your quiz. Shall I find something? What did I do now? London.
Can I go grab my homework?
Wait, is the quiz on paper?
Nope, yes. Quiz be paper.
We do that first in English?
What's that? Oh, okay. Do the quiz before you do the Excel. So I need that before you go. I mean, I don't think the quiz should be easy as well, because it's just decimals and fractions. You may want to look at your notes, 'cause people get mixed up on decimals and fractions quite a bit. Just me. Jason, I'll let you take this. You want to little sign, take mine, just otherwise I'll give you.
Sure. Should I take one for Lexi? A quiz?
No. Sam, where you at? Sam, you want to get a little sign before? How about somebody want the thanks for the ride sign?
I think that's yours.
Well, this, it's mine that's going into said dumpster.
Okay.
Are you passing on that?
I didn't drive, so I can
Alright. You didn't cry, did you say?
drive.
Oh. No, thanks for the ride. I don't think that was intended for the bus driver. I think that was just intended for other, well, you know, thanks for the fun and excitement of the season.
That makes more sense.
The 13 total left to make it
That would be nice. Well, I don't think they do that.
I know.
Quiz for you.
I couldn't figure out any because he didn't have the sign. So look at zero. Get
Is it this one then?
Showtime.
Oh.
He's just an 80s
Okay. That makes sense. Down there. Would just came out my mouth.
Try to convince him just to go to 15.
We're giving it a 9.
It's like, what are you doing?
Did you sign it? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know.
No, I think me too. So, oh. What do you Dude, my game's only I tell
Is 10 closer to 10?
Honestly.
5? Wait, how is 10 not closer to 10?
No,
They don't.
this is a
It's
game.
on there. But then it says 10 is 5.
No, the second one is hard.
Wait, do I need to what? Do you think you can go like
Hey, please help me with
closer than 9?
I'm going over to
Bro, what's that? 86 to 9.
Hey, how am I supposed to carry this? I mean,
Sophia, you wasn't distracted. Draw a line. Bro, you're literally in check. Up, down. Yeah, why? They don't want to see the crowd. Is that why you Oh, why is there a book on the ground? How do you leave it?
I don't know what I said, but I guess it's just like, hours of him